Today we're talking about the single most important thing you can do when you are starting out as a young lad in your 20s, and that is actually pretty simple but not easy, and it's building up a skill set. It doesn't really matter what you choose. The main thing is that you just stick with that and you get in enough reps to where it's super unlikely that you're gonna suck at this thing. I think a super good one to start out with, even if you don't know what to do, get into some sort of sales, because that will teach you rejection. That will teach you to keep persevering. I mean, if you've ever done door-to-door or cold calling, any sort of sales, you know that you get 200 no's and nasty things said to you. You get one yes, and you're like, okay, so that's what it takes. It takes a ridiculous amount of volume to actually make something happen. And you can apply that same principle to whatever else you choose to do later in life. And it's also such a big thing with communicating and being able to explain ideas very clearly. I don't think I would nearly be as good as I am at talking. And I'm not even the best out there. There's people way, way better than I am. And maybe they didn't even do sales. But for the normal person, it will help tremendously doing any sort of sales. Phone sales, door-to-door, in-person, high-ticket sales, doesn't matter. And it could also just be like, that could be your career path. If you're a super good salesman, you got it made. You can show up when you want. You don't get fired. You make a lot of money. You make the company a lot of money. Everybody likes that guy if you're a top salesman. I learned a lot of skills from doing sales, but I was never really that guy. I was not able to really make it. And I had a pretty good opportunity. I was doing door-to-door sales, selling solar in Phoenix, Arizona. But yeah, man, just couldn't pull it off. And I could go into like details and, different things. But all in all, I couldn't make it happen. I ended up back at my 9 to 5. However, there's serious character development when you go and you knock doors for, a year and you make 20 grand, which is not a lot of money, by the way. And so you're essentially knocking doors in Phoenix, Arizona for 8 hours a day in 110 degree, 120 degree weather for free. Like, not making much at all. And I would actually get a lot of sales, but it was just, they would get canceled. So I knew I was getting better, but they could never hang on in the back end. If you sold solar, it takes like, at the time at least, 2 months to install these deals. So yeah, that's what kind of bit me. And that brings me back to the original point, guys, which is building your skill set. It doesn't matter what you choose. Those things you can carry over into anything else and any other thing that you do. But for me, I knew I was pretty good at communication. I was pretty good at showing up on time, sticking something out. And so I just had to keep trying different things that involved those same principles after I had built those habits. And that's what landed me in pool service, because I say I'm going to be at this person's house every week at this time, and I've stuck with that, and I've been doing it coming up on a year now, and it's been smooth. I think I've lost one client in a year, which is actually a pretty good churn, I guess you'd call it, which is people that just fall off over a certain amount of time. So that's what's really stuck with me, and now I'm more so in the business, at least starting out in pools, of building up the skill set to learn how to do something. And I really think that there's a lot of value, and you can skip some steps in paying for knowledge. And now this comes to, you got to weigh it out for your personal situation. I'm just telling you what my process is and what's going to work for me. But I have a mentor in the space, and he's somebody that's been doing it. I'm not sure if he works for a pool company, or I know he has 60 of his own, but I don't know if he's also doing more volume to, be getting extra, whatever it is. But he's got 60 of his own. He's got the whole process down. He's done everything under the sun. And I have like a small job for him that he says he'd only charge his customer like $25 to do. And it takes like 10 minutes. And it's replacing a salt cell or cleaning a salt cell. I've never cleaned a salt cell. I could look it up on YouTube, but I don't really want to wing it and be messing around with the muriatic acid. The overarching point is that I'm willing to pay him extra and lose a little bit of money. I'm going to give him $50, charge the customer $25, but I get to learn that skill set, and that's something I got in my arsenal. And I have multiple saltwater pools, so I know that that's going to be a thing that I'll have to do, and I'll be able to learn the skill, and then make my money back after one time. And I don't even have to pay him $50, but I really appreciate his time. And I get a lot more from spending a couple minutes with him than just learning how to do that. I mean, the dude gives me all the sauce and all the stuff that's going to help me in my pool business. So there's nothing wrong with, instead of just going the learning curve, paying some money to get the knowledge and then skip a couple steps. And I've been looking into like a school community. If you guys don't know what that is, it's like a online community that I know Hermosi's like a co-partner, or maybe, I think it's a partner, I'm not sure, but he is involved with that, pushed it pretty heavily. That's how I found out about it. And I've joined a couple in there. Some of them have been bogus. A lot of them actually got pretty tremendous amount of value, and they're like that because they want to keep you in there, which is fair. And I think that's should actually be the goal, is that you should want to have a valuable community that people want to stay in. So there is one about pools that I'm going to join. And they got a whole bunch of different tips and tricks, whatever. What I'm saying is that school community is $30 a month. So if the worst thing that happens is I lose out on $30 and it ends up being a scam, then it's not that big of a deal. So you don't need to take a tremendous amount of risk anymore, because all the information's out there. You have people that will sell it for like pretty cheaply. They do have like those high ticket offers that will supposedly very much transform your life for, $3,000 to $10,000. But I think unless you've been in that game for a while, those probably just aren't for you. You got to get your reps in. You got to start out with the low ticket knowledge offers to unlock and see if that's really it for you. And you can always work your way up. And there's tons of I guess different tiers of knowledge. So anyways, guys, that's going to be a shorter video, but I did want to come on here and tell you that you got to build the skill set. It comes with knowledge and reps, and there's nothing wrong with paying a little bit of money to trade for a higher skill set so that you can make more money later on, and nobody can take those skills away from you. Your job can leave you, everything else can go, but nothing can take away your skill sets. If you're a skilled person and you're more valuable than money, then you will just attract it. That's just how it works. If you have a lot of value and you start letting people know, or you have a lot of skills and you start letting people know, money will just follow. It's the whole like law of attraction, the frequency, all that stuff. You're just so focused on the work that somehow it just works out. And I will keep you guys updated as things get going along, but I'm pretty excited to join that. I'm going to do that when I get home. And I'll see you guys in the next one. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe. Thank you for all the support. Recent videos blowing up. I will link that or have it pop up on the screen right here. This is how to make some additional coin while you're working 40 hours a week, staying busy, getting after it. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.